Dolly Parton's funeral was supposed to be completely private, with only her immediate family allowed inside. But just days after her death, videos claiming to show details from her funeral started spreading online. What's actually behind this so-called leaked footage is not what people think. Let me break it down. Here's where it starts. On the morning news broke, Dolly Parton was laid to rest beside her late husband, Carl Dean. TMZ learned after Brian Seaver, Dolly's nephew, told TMZ where she'd be buried. The confirmation itself had come the day before, when Parton's nephew confirmed the singer's surprise death in a moving video posted to her Instagram page. Fans didn't have to wait for tabloids. They watched it happen in real time, on her own page, in her own words passed through her own family. Brian Seaver is the man at the center of everything that followed. He's not some distant relative wheeled out for a soundbite. Seaver, her head of security for more than 20 years, said she asked him years earlier to deliver the news when the time came. He opened the video with his role laid out plainly, saying he was representing the Parton and Owens family today, announcing the passing of my Aunt Dolly Rebecca Parton Dean. That single video is the seed of almost everything now circulating under the leaked funeral footage label. People are taking pieces of it, recutting it, layering new captions on it, and passing it around as if it's something smuggled out of the church. Because here's the thing, there was no church, no red carpet, no public viewing. The country music legend was laid to rest during a private service attended only by immediate family. Arrangements announced following Parton's death at age 80, with her representatives saying, at Dolly's request, a small private service will be held for immediate family. That single sentence is doing a lot of work right now. It's the reason any grainy clip claiming to be inside anything gets millions of views in an hour. When a service is sealed off, every scrap that leaks, real or not, becomes a magnet. And there's real detail to hang a story on, which is exactly what makes the footage claims feel plausible to casual scrollers. Dolly was set to be buried in the mausoleum at Woodlawn Memorial Park and Mausoleum in Nashville, Tennessee, where Carl is buried. And she was to be buried in her signature high heels and a comfortable cotton dress. Seaver explained the choice himself in the announcement, saying Parton wanted to rest on soft cotton after decades spent beneath elaborate stage costumes, adding after a life wearing heavy rhinestones, she finally deserves to be comfortable and have some rest. That kind of specific, almost tender detail is catnip for anyone trying to convince you they've seen more than they have. If you already know she's buried in heels and cotton, a blurry 15-second clip claiming to show the casket suddenly feels believable. So that's the shape of things going into the wider story. A death confirmed by video, a funeral locked down to family only, and a hunger online for anything that looks like it got past the gate. Once the private service was confirmed, three separate things started moving at once. The family's official messaging, the celebrity reaction wave, and the unverified clips claiming to show more. Start with the family. They weren't hiding from the public entirely. In an Aug. 25 statement detailing funeral arrangements, they said, at Dolly's request, a small, private service will be held for immediate family, but went on to detail ways fans could honor her memory, encouraging fans and friends around the world to pay tribute by tagging at Dolly Parton or leaving a message at her website. That's a family trying to give the public an outlet without opening the actual service. It's a controlled release valve. And it worked for a moment, right up until people decided a hashtag wasn't enough. Then came the celebrities, and this is where the reaction wave gets loud. Pedro Pascal kept his tribute short, writing that Dolly was one of one. We must make more. Chrishell Stause went a different direction, telling her followers, you will be a forever treasure to this world. You will live on forever. We will always love you. And Jane Fonda, Dolly's longtime friend and co-star, turned her tribute toward Parton's fanbase directly, saying to her gay and trans fans, I want you to know that she loved you. You know that without me telling you. She loved all her fans and they are legion. And you know she doesn't want y'all to mourn now. Dress up and celebrate her spirit. Three different voices, three different tones, grief, warmth, and a call to celebrate rather than mourn. None of them mentioned footage. None of them needed to. Their tributes were public by design, posted to their own accounts, meant to be seen. That's the contrast that matters here. On one side you've got named, verified people, Pascal, Stause, Fonda, putting their names on public statements. On the other side, you've got anonymous accounts pushing unlabeled clips with captions promising a look inside the service. Reba McEntire, who's lived through her own death hoax before, has been especially blunt about this kind of thing in the past. When an AI-generated image once circulated showing her at what looked like Dolly's deathbed, Rabad didn't play along. She called it out directly, joking to her friend that, "You're too young and I'm too old for any of that nonsense." That's the same instinct a lot of longtime fans are leaning on now. Familiarity with how fast fabricated visuals move once someone believable is at the center of a story. Meanwhile, the practical reality of the burial site kept getting reported straight, without embellishment, by outlets running down the facts rather than chasing footage. Woodlawn Memorial Park is one of Nashville's oldest cemeteries, a place where many renowned country stars have been laid to rest, including Porter Wagoner, for whom Parton wrote, "I Will Always Love You," along with legends like George Jones and Tammy Wynette. That's a real, checkable location. It's not hidden. Anyone can drive past the gates. But driving past a gate and getting inside a private, family-only service are two very different things. And that gap is exactly where the leaked footage claims have set up shop. Her family also gave fans something concrete to actually do, rather than just watch. In lieu of flowers, the family asks for donations to be made to Dolly Parton's Imagination Library, the statement added. A book gifting program that mails free, high-quality books to children from birth to age 5, no matter their family's income. That's the kind of detail that gets buried under clickbait. A family asking for donations to a literacy charity doesn't trend the way a fake leak does. But it's the one piece of this entire story that's fully verifiable, fully official, and fully in keeping with who Dolly actually was. So by the time the second wave of social posts hit, the ones specifically branded as funeral footage, you had a strange split screen. Verified grief from A-list friends on one side, unverified, unsourced clips riding the algorithm on the other, and a family that had already told everyone, in plain language, that the service itself was closed. By the time the phrase leaked funeral footage started trending, there was already a real video in circulation, just not the one people thought. Every frame anyone has actually been able to point to traces back to Seaver's own announcement clip, the one Dolly Parton's family shared in a video message posted to social media, with Brian Seaver, the son of Parton's sister Cassie Parton, introducing himself as a speaker on behalf of the Parton family and their extended loved ones. That's a nearly 3-minute video, and it's long enough that clippers have been slicing it into 10-second fragments, stripping the context and re-uploading pieces under new titles suggesting they show something covert. One detail that kept getting recycled into these recuts is the moment Seaver describes his aunt's final request about her burial dress. When he recalled that, "Dolly called me and said she wants to rest in a beautiful bed of plush cotton, because after a life wearing heavy rhinestones, she finally deserves to be comfortable and have some rest. Rest in peace, Aunt Dolly, Aunt Granny Jiggy. May God bless Dolly Parton, and may God bless you all." Watch that fragment out of context, with a thumbnail claiming it was filmed at graveside, and it's easy to see why people believed they were watching something smuggled out of a private service. They weren't. They were watching a public statement the family had already posted themselves, just repackaged to look forbidden. The other source material feeding the rumor mill is the network coverage that ran the same day. Dolly Parton, an American original, a special edition of 2020, aired the night her death was announced on ABC, and streamed the next day on Disney Plus and Hulu. That kind of retrospective special uses old concert footage, archived interviews, and file photos. Material that, out of context, can look unfamiliar enough to convince someone scrolling fast that they're seeing something new and unreleased. Combine that with the family's own words that Seaver said her family members plan on carrying on Parton's expansive legacy to ensure her spirit will live with us forever, and that the family said they would hold a private funeral for Parton, per her request, while encouraging her countless friends and fans to share tributes on social media. And you can see how the pieces got scrambled. Real tribute video, real archival broadcast, real public statement, all of it swirling together under one misleading label. What never surfaced in any credible outlet, in any statement from Seaver, from Parton's representatives, or from Woodlawn Memorial Park itself, was an actual recording from inside the family-only service. No cemetery photographer's leak, no smartphone clip from a mourner, no security footage pulled from the mausoleum. The family's language stayed consistent from the first announcement through every follow-up statement. Private, immediate family only, no plans for a public gathering. That consistency matters. If something had genuinely gotten out, the tone of those statements likely would have shifted to address it directly, the way families usually do when privacy gets breached. It didn't. What did happen is simpler, and in some ways sadder. A woman who spent 7 decades in front of cameras finally asked for one moment that belonged only to the people who loved her. And even that request got tested, not by anyone who was actually there, but by strangers online repurposing her own goodbye video into something it never was. The tributes from Pascal, Stas, and Fonda were real. The Imagination Library donations are real. Woodlawn Memorial Park is real. The 3-minute video from her nephew is real. Everything genuinely worth watching about Dolly Parton's final send-off was already sitting in plain sight, posted by the people who loved her, exactly the way she'd asked. The rest was just noise dressed up as a secret.